Okay, so I'm on to another little Christmas card today. So I've got a little bit of Saunders waterproof, 4.5 inches by 4.5 inches. I'm going to float mount this piece of paper onto a normal card. So I am using a photo of mine. I'll pop that up on screen if you want to reference it. I'm going to do some sheep in a snowy field. So I've got a couple of sheep here, one in the distance. I've missed the gate bit out and I've got a little bit of sky. So I'm going to start with my round number 10. I'll talk you through the colours as I go and the techniques that I'm using. I'm going to come on. And do a bit of a sky. So round number 10 for the water, I'm going to swap down to a round number 6 for the paint. So the first colour that I'm using is Intense Blue. This is a phthalo base blue. It's nice and bright. I'm dropping in with a circular motion, dabbing into the neat paint. I've popped no water in this paint. You can leave a little bit of cloud. Come over the tree line because you want some of that sky to come through the trees. I brush a little bit of a rinse, clean that off, dab it into clean water, and I've got a little bit of rose here. I'm going to bring a bit of that in towards the bottom. Rinse my brush off, dab it into clean water. I'm going to come into some purple as well. A little bit of purple in the top of the sky. Dab my brush off again and I'm going to come into some sepia. So I want a line of trees. So there isn't much water on my brush. I'm coming into the neat sepia and I'm just dabbing in. So I want some nice wintry trees, so I don't want it to be too full. So I'm starting to create that edge with a few little gaps. So just lightly dabbing. Then if I take my rigger, I'm just going to twizzle this way to find it easier to paint downwards to a point. I'm going to come into that sepia again. I'm just going to create a few trunks. You need to move quickly when doing this because we want a little bit of snow to happen on this one. So you can take a few branches higher than those little bits of tree. I'm dropping all my brushes now. I'm just going to take a few little bit more up here. So just dab in so get a nice effect. Take a little bit of that sepia just towards the snow line because it's going to help to define that dark of the snow. Okay, so now if I get some standard table salt and I'm just going to sprinkle that on. So I'm just going to get a nice snowy background, hopefully it's not dried too much, so I'll let that dry. Okay, that's nicely dried. I've got a lovely snowy effect. I'm just rubbing the salt off there. I just need to make sure my brush is nice and clean, so I'm going to come in with my round number 10. I'm going to come over that bottom section now and we're just going to pop in a little bit of a glow on the snow because the snow always reflects the colours from the sky. My brush isn't clean, it's still got that sepia on, so I'm just cleaning that off right now. Okay, so I'm going to dab in, I'm going to take a little bit of the intense blue, just bring that through. So I need this to be light, so if it's not light enough it won't look like snow anymore, so I'm just going to make sure, take a bit more water in, keep it nice and light. I'm going to dab a little bit into the rose, we'll keep that towards the front, and a little bit into the purple. Okay, we'll just take a little bit of that towards the front, maybe a little bit at the bottom of this shrub that we haven't done yet, a little bit under each of the sheep's bodies as well. Okay, and then a great tip for snow is to take a bit of dry kitchen towel and just dab, because you get this sort of undulating effect. It's not often that I say it's okay to dab, but this does work really nicely on the snow. It just takes a little bit off in places and it looks more snowy and undulating. Okay, I'll dry that one off. Okay, so that's nicely dry. I've got my round number 6 and a little bit of raw sienna here. So this is again neat in the palette. All these colours are neat in the palette. I'm just using them. So I've dabbed into a little bit of water and then into a little bit of the raw sienna. What I want to do is start to create the shape of the sheep. I'm looking at the darker area of the sheep, just popping that in. Don't have to worry about the top area, it's white. Just following the curve of the body. Just popping that a little bit more around the head there, but you basically want the top area to still stay quite light. Then I'm going to drop down to around number 2. I'm just going to grab this palette here because I've got some ivory black in this palette. And ivory black is, you can use Payne's grey, but it tends to be a little bit more shooty. So ivory black, or a combination of ultramarine and burnt umber, or ultramarine and burnt sienna would work very nicely. They make a nice black as well that doesn't run too much. Payne's grey can be a little bit shooty. So with my number 2, I'm going to come in, just create the shape of the sheep's head. They've all got black heads, so that makes it nice and easy. There's no detail in this at all, it's just the shape of the head that you're getting there. And then we can come on and do the legs. So when you do the legs, you're going to do the 4 legs of that one sheep. You're going to get your round number 6 and just smudge at the bottom of those legs. Just dip back in. And then round number 6, it's just going to give you that shadow smudge at the bottom. Now this is a tiny sheep at the back, so you might even only have 2 legs because I can't really see them. I've got those in there as well. As simple as that to create sheep. Okay, so now I'm going to look at this shrub, this side. I'm going to use a little bit of sepia, round number 6. I'm going to hold my brush flat. I'm going to scrape the surface. So this is called dry brushing. I'm going to use a little bit of indigo as well to make this nice and dark. And I want to catch the surface using the texture, but not create it to be too blobby. So get a nice texture there. And then in that same way that I did the trees in the background, I'm just going to twizzle this round, pick up some of this indigo, and with my rigger just bring through some branches. Get some nice fine branches here. Okay, now I'm going to pick up my round number 6, just check it's clean. And I'm going to come back into the intense blue, so nice and watery. I'm going to pop in some shadow. So underneath each of these sheep, take some shadow this way. Bits of shadow this way as well. So we've got some different areas, an odd little bit of undulating shadow. What's quite nice is if you can get a little bit just happening at the top of the sheep where the light is. So if I come along that edge, then just bring that shadow that way, it helps to define the lighter edge of the sheep, bringing that out. And then that same bit of kitchen towel, just want you to just dab that a little bit so it's not too prominent. It's a nice cool icy one, so I'll dry that one off. Okay, so I've taken the tape off, it's looking really lovely. What I'm going to do is just use a little bit of sparkle on the snow. So this is iridescent watercolour medium. I'll pop a link in the description of the one that I use. It just gives a nice little bit of sparkle. It's very, very delicate. It's a Winsor & Newton one, and the bottle tends to last you for years. So you can, I don't know if you can see it on there. You can see the sparkle. Oh. Just try lifting it up so you can see the sparkle. There we go, you can see the sparkle now. So it's really, really lovely. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll pop a link here to the video which is going to show you how to float mount those. You can paint them onto normal cards as well, onto normal watercolour cards if you've got them. It's just a new way to do that.